The vastness of space stretched out before the Vrillian fleet, its sleek, angular vessels gliding effortlessly through the inky blackness. Commander Xylia stood on the bridge of the flagship, her keen eyes scanning the holographic displays that showed the status of her battered armada. Just hours earlier, a catastrophic system failure had rocked the fleet, crippling their engines and communications. Now they drifted helplessly, stranded in an unfamiliar region of the galaxy, far from the borders of Vrillian space. Xylia's mandibles twitched with barely contained frustration. Her people were a proud, advanced race, masters of interstellar travel and technology. To be reduced to such a vulnerable state was deeply unsettling. "Report," she barked, turning to her first officer. "The damage is extensive, Commander," the officer replied, his voice tinged with concern. "Our hyperdrives are offline, and we've lost contact with the rest of the fleet. We're dead in the water, so to speak." Xylia's eyes narrowed. "And our location?" "Unknown, I'm afraid. All our navigational systems are down. We're completely disoriented." The commander let out a low, rumbling growl. This was a dire situation, one that threatened the very survival of her people. They were cut off from their home world, their resources dwindling, and now they faced the unknown, an uncharted region of space, potentially teeming with hostile alien civilizations. "Prepare a scouting party," Xylia commanded. "I want to know what we're dealing with here, and make sure they're armed and ready for anything." As the officer hurried to carry out her orders, Xylia turned her gaze once more to the vast, black expanse before them. Somewhere out there, in the depths of this unfamiliar territory, lay the fate of her people. She would not let them down. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. The small scout ship glided silently through the void, its cloaking systems hiding it from prying eyes. On board, a team of Vrillian warriors tensed, their hands gripping their weapons as they scanned the horizon for any sign of life. Detecting a faint energy signature ahead, the pilot reported, his voice barely above a whisper. "Looks like some kind of artificial structure or settlement." Xylia's second-in-command, a seasoned veteran named Zarak, leaned forward in his seat. "Bring us in for a closer look, but maintain stealth. I want to observe, not engage, unless absolutely necessary." The scout ship drifted closer, its sensors sweeping the strange, alien construct that loomed in the distance. It was unlike anything the Vrillians had ever encountered. A vast, sprawling network of domes and spires, connected by a complex system of pathways and transportation hubs. "What are these creatures?" Zarak murmured, his eyes narrowed as he studied the beings moving about the settlement. They were bipedal, with pale, fragile-looking skin and limited physical capabilities, at least compared to the Vrillians. Yet they seemed to navigate their environment with ease, working together in coordinated groups. "Primitive, but not unintelligent," the second-in-command mused. "Interesting." As the scout ship continued its observations, a sudden flicker of movement caught their attention. One of the aliens had turned, its gaze seemingly fixed on their position. Zarak tensed, his finger tightening on the trigger of his weapon, but the alien simply stared for a moment, then turned and went about its business. "Remarkable," the Vrillian officer breathed. "They appear to have some rudimentary sensor capabilities. We must exercise extreme caution." The scout ship continued its surveillance, gathering as much information as possible about the alien settlement and its inhabitants. Xylia would need to know everything if she was to devise a plan to ensure the survival of her people in this strange, unknown territory. As the scout ship prepared to return to the fleet, Zarak leaned back in his seat, his mandibles clicking thoughtfully. "These creatures," he murmured, "they may prove to be more than mere primitives. Perhaps they could even be useful." The Vrillian scout ship returned to the crippled fleet, its crew eager to report their findings to Commander Xylia. As the commander listened to Zarak's account of the strange, bipedal aliens and their primitive yet organized settlement, her mandibles clicked thoughtfully. "Interesting," she murmured. "These humans, as you call them, may hold the key to our survival. We have no choice but to attempt contact and seek their assistance. Zelia turned to her officers, her expression grim. Prepare a diplomatic team. We will approach these humans cautiously, but we must convince them to aid us. The future of our people depends on it. The Vrillian delegation, led by Zelia and Zerak, approached the human settlement with a mixture of trepidation and determination. As they drew closer, the humans took notice, their activities slowing to a halt as they stared in awe and fear at the sleek alien vessels. Zelia signaled for the delegation to land, and the Vrillians emerged from their ships, their imposing frames and insectoid features eliciting gasps and murmurs from the watching humans. Zerak stepped forward, his mandibles moving as he attempted to communicate. "Greetings, inhabitants of this world," he said, his voice translated through the delegation's communication devices. "We come in peace, seeking your aid." The humans eyed the aliens warily, unsure how to respond. After a tense moment, a human in ornate clothing stepped forward, addressing the Vrillians in a cautious tone. "I am President Emmeline Harker, leader of the United Nations. What is it you require from us?" Zelia stepped up beside Zerak, her piercing gaze fixed on the human leader. "Our fleet has suffered a catastrophic systems failure. We are stranded in your space, our resources dwindling. We require assistance in repairing our vessels and restoring our systems." Harker's brow furrowed as she considered the alien commander's words. "And what do you have to offer in return for our aid?" Zelia drew herself up to her full height. "We are a technologically advanced civilization, with knowledge and capabilities far beyond your own. In exchange for your assistance, we can share our technology and knowledge, elevating your people to new heights." The human leader's eyes narrowed. "Your technology may be impressive, but we are not without our own scientific and engineering prowess. What guarantee do we have that you will not simply take what you want and leave us behind?" Zerak stepped forward, his tone conciliatory. "We understand your hesitation, and we mean you no harm. Our people are in a perilous situation, and we seek only to restore our fleet and return to our own space. We are willing to negotiate in good faith to ensure a mutually beneficial arrangement." Harker considered the alien's words, her gaze shifting between the imposing Vrillian figures and the anxious humans who had gathered to witness the encounter. Finally, she nodded. "Very well. We will hear your proposal and see what we can do to assist you. But know this: any attempt to deceive or exploit us will be met with the full force of the United Nations." Zelia inclined her head in acknowledgement. "Agreed. Let us begin our negotiations, and may they lead to a fruitful alliance between our peoples." As the delegations moved to a secure location to discuss the terms of their potential cooperation, the watching humans whispered excitedly, their minds racing with the implications of this extraordinary encounter. The fate of both civilizations now hung in the balance. The negotiations between the Vrillian delegation and the representatives of the United Nations were tense and fraught with uncertainty. Both sides eyed each other warily, their respective cultures and worldviews clashing at every turn. Commander Zelia, the Vrillian leader, found herself growing increasingly frustrated with the seemingly endless back and forth. These humans, for all their apparent technological limitations, were stubborn and unyielding in their demands. "We are offering you the opportunity to advance your species exponentially," Zelia said, her mandibles clicking with impatience. "Why do you insist on such onerous terms?" President Harker, her brow furrowed in concentration, regarded the alien commander with a cool, measured gaze. "We must ensure that any cooperation between our peoples is truly equitable. We cannot simply hand over our resources and knowledge without assurances that you will not exploit us." Zerak, Zelia's second-in-command, leaned forward, his tone placating. "Surely we can find a compromise that satisfies both our needs. Our people are facing a dire situation. We require your assistance, and in return, we offer technological and scientific advancements that could transform your world." The human negotiators exchanged uncertain glances, clearly torn between the temptation of the Vrillian's offer and the lingering suspicion that their new alien allies might not have the best interests of humanity in mind. "We understand the gravity of your situation," Harker said slowly, "but we cannot ignore the potential risks. Our people have struggled for centuries to overcome division and conflict. We cannot simply trust that your intentions are pure, no matter how dire your circumstances may be." Zilia's eyes narrowed, and for a moment, Zarek feared she might abandon the negotiations altogether. But then, to his surprise, the commander's posture relaxed slightly, and she nodded. "Very well," Zilia said, her voice measured. "We will agree to your terms, but know this. Our people are facing extinction. We have no choice but to rely on your cooperation. Fail us, and the consequences will be dire." Harker held the alien commander's gaze, a flicker of understanding passing between them. "We will do our utmost to ensure the success of this alliance, but know also that we will not be taken advantage of. Trust must be earned on both sides." With that, the negotiations resumed, each side working to find common ground and establish the framework for their unprecedented cooperation. The future of both civilizations hung in the balance, and neither could afford to let their guard down. As the discussions dragged on, the Vrillian delegation began to glimpse the true depth of human ingenuity and resilience. While their technology might be more advanced, the humans possessed a certain adaptability and resourcefulness that surprised and intrigued the aliens. Zarak, in particular, found himself growing more and more fascinated by these strange bipedal creatures. Perhaps, he mused, there was more to them than met the eye. Finally, after hours of tense deliberation, the two sides reached an agreement. The humans would provide the Vrillians with the resources and materials needed to repair their crippled fleet, while the aliens would share their knowledge and technology, jump-starting a new era of scientific and cultural exchange. As the negotiators shook hands, or rather, the human equivalent, a palpable sense of relief and cautious optimism filled the air. Both civilizations had taken a momentous step, one that would forever change the course of their respective histories. The agreement between the Vrillian delegation and the United Nations was a fragile one, built on a foundation of cautious trust and a shared desperation. But as the first Vrillian vessels began docking in human orbital facilities, a new phase of the collaboration commenced, one of intense scientific inquiry and technological exchange. Under the watchful eye of Vrillian supervisors, teams of human scientists and engineers swarmed the alien ships, eager to unravel the mysteries of their advanced systems. It was a delicate dance, with both sides wary of revealing too much, yet driven by a mutual need to understand. "Their technology is incredible," marveled Dr. Amelia Ramirez, the lead researcher on the project. "The level of integration and efficiency is unlike anything we've ever seen. If we can just reverse engineer some of these processes, it could revolutionize our own technological capabilities." Zilia, observing the proceedings from the Vrillian Command Center, clicked her mandibles thoughtfully. "Be cautious, Doctor," she warned, her voice translated through the communication interface. "Our systems are complex and deeply intertwined. Tampering with them without proper understanding could have disastrous consequences." Ramirez nodded, her brow furrowed in concentration. "We understand the risks, Commander, but the potential rewards are simply too great to ignore. With your guidance, I believe we can find a way to safely adapt your technology to our needs." And so the delicate dance continued, with the human researchers pushing the boundaries of their knowledge, while the Vrillian supervisors carefully monitored their progress, offering advice and subtle corrections when necessary. Slowly but surely, the pieces began to fall into place. Fundamental principles of Vrillian engineering were uncovered, and new avenues of exploration opened up. The humans marveled at the elegant solutions to problems they had long struggled with, while the Vrillians found themselves intrigued by the human capacity for lateral thinking and improvisation. "This is remarkable," Zarek murmured, as he watched a team of human technicians troubleshoot a critical Vrillian subsystem. "They are far more adaptable than I had anticipated." Zilia nodded, a flicker of respect in her gaze. "Indeed." Perhaps we have underestimated the potential of these humans. If they continue to prove themselves, they may yet be the key to our survival. The breakthrough came unexpectedly when a young human engineer named Liam Donovan stumbled upon a fundamental flaw in the Vrillian propulsion systems. By reconfiguring the energy flow and adjusting the structural integrity fields, he was able to boost the efficiency of the engines by a staggering 30%. The Vrillian supervisors, initially skeptical of the humans' proposal, were stunned by the results. Zelia herself approached Donovan, her mandibles clicking in a gesture of grudging admiration. "Your solution is elegant," she said, her voice tinged with a hint of wonder. "We have been blind to this weakness for centuries. How did you manage to identify it so quickly?" Donovan offered a sheepish smile. "Honestly, Commander, I'm not sure. I just looked at the problem from a different angle. Sometimes a fresh perspective can reveal hidden truths." Zelia inclined her head, her gaze thoughtful. "It would seem we have much to learn from one another. Let us continue this collaboration and see what other marvels we can uncover together." As the news of Donovan's breakthrough spread through the human and Vrillian teams, a new sense of excitement and possibility began to take hold. The once wary partners were now united in a common goal, driven by the thrill of discovery and the promise of a future where their civilizations might stand side by side as equals. As the collaboration between the Vrillians and the humans deepened, the walls of suspicion and mistrust began to crumble. What had started as a cautious, pragmatic alliance was slowly transforming into something more. A genuine exchange of knowledge, ideas, and ultimately, understanding. Commander Zelia found herself increasingly fascinated by the intricacies of human society and culture. The way they organized themselves into complex, interconnected communities, the diversity of their beliefs and customs, and the sheer creativity of their scientific and artistic pursuits. It was all a revelation to the proud Vrillian leader. "Your people are truly remarkable," Zelia remarked one day, as she observed a group of human children engaged in a lively game on the grounds of the research facility. "The boundless energy and curiosity you possess is something our own youth have long since lost." President Harker, who had been accompanying the Vrillian commander, nodded thoughtfully. "We are a young species, Commander, still learning and growing. But perhaps that is our greatest strength, our willingness to embrace new experiences and perspectives." Zelia's mandibles clicked in a gesture of contemplation. "It would seem we have much to learn from you as well. Your adaptability and resourcefulness have proven invaluable in our efforts to restore our fleet." Harker smiled, a glimmer of pride in her eyes. "And we have much to learn from you, Commander. Your technological prowess and scientific knowledge are truly remarkable. I believe this collaboration will benefit both our civilizations in ways we can scarcely imagine." As the days turned into weeks, the Vrillians and the humans began to forge personal connections, moving beyond the confines of their professional roles. Zarak, Zelia's second-in-command, found himself drawn to the sharp wit and inquisitive nature of Dr. Ramirez, the lead human researcher. "Your people possess a remarkable resilience," Zarak remarked one evening, as he and Ramirez shared a meal in the facility's cafeteria. "You have faced many challenges, yet you endure, always striving to better yourselves." Ramirez nodded, a wistful smile playing on her lips. "We are far from perfect, Zarak. But perhaps that is what makes us human, our ability to learn from our mistakes, to adapt, and to grow." The Vrillian officer regarded her thoughtfully. "In my people's history, such resilience has been a rare and cherished trait. Perhaps there is much we can learn from your example." As the cultural exchange deepened, the humans and Vrillians found themselves drawn to one another's perspectives and experiences. They shared stories of their homeworlds, their achievements and struggles, their hopes and fears. And in doing so, they began to see each other not as mere allies or adversaries, but as individuals worthy of respect and even friendship. Zelia, who had once been so distrustful of the humans, now found herself marveling at their ingenuity and creativity. She watched, transfixed, as a group of human artists transformed the drab walls of the research facility into vibrant, colorful murals, each one a unique and captivating expression of their cultural heritage. Your people possess a remarkable capacity for beauty and expression, the Vrillian commander murmured, her gaze fixed on the intricate artwork. It is a quality we Vrillians have long neglected in our pursuit of pure functionality. Harker, standing beside her, nodded in agreement. There is more to life than mere efficiency, Commander. Sometimes the journey is as important as the destination. Zelia considered her words, her mandibles clicking thoughtfully. Perhaps you are right. And perhaps, in the end, it is the journey we share that will determine the true nature of our alliance. As the human-Vrillian collaboration progressed, both sides quickly learned that repairing the crippled alien fleet would be no easy feat. The deeper they delved into the intricacies of Vrillian technology, the more complex and daunting the challenges became. These systems are far more intricate than we initially realized, Dr. Ramirez lamented, her brow furrowed in concentration as she pored over the schematics. Integrating our own technology in a way that maintains the integrity of the Vrillian design is proving difficult. Zarak, who had been working closely with the human research team, nodded grimly. We Vrillians are masters of our own technology, but even we struggle to comprehend the full extent of its complexity. Adapting it to your systems will require a level of ingenuity and precision we have not yet achieved. Zelia, observing the proceedings from the sidelines, felt a familiar twinge of frustration. Time was running out, and the survival of her people depended on the success of this collaboration. She could not afford to let it fail. Then we must find a way, the Vrillian commander declared, her voice brooking no argument. Failure is not an option. We will devote all of our resources and expertise to this task, and we will succeed. The human and Vrillian teams redoubled their efforts, working tirelessly to overcome the seemingly insurmountable obstacles. But as the days turned into weeks, progress slowed to a crawl, and tensions began to rise. Perhaps we have been too hasty in our approach, Zorak suggested during one particularly heated discussion. We must step back and reevaluate our strategy, consider alternative solutions that may not have occurred to us. Ramirez sighed, running a hand through her hair in frustration. I wish it were that simple, Zorak. But every time we try a new approach, we encounter a new set of complications. It's as if the more we learn, the less we understand. The Vrillian officer's mandibles clicked thoughtfully. Then perhaps the solution lies not in our own knowledge, but in a perspective we have yet to consider. Ramirez's eyes widened as she realized what Zarek was suggesting. You mean the humans? Zarek inclined his head. You have demonstrated a remarkable capacity for lateral thinking, for seeing problems from angles we have overlooked. Perhaps it is time we embrace that mindset more fully. Celia, who had been observing the exchange, stepped forward, her gaze resolute. Then let us put our pride aside and seek the counsel of our human partners. Their insights may be the key to unlocking the solution we so desperately need. And so, with a renewed sense of humility and openness, the Vrillians and the humans came together to tackle the challenge anew. Suspicions and frustrations gave way to a shared determination, as both sides recognized that their survival depended on their ability to work as true allies. Through long hours of discussion, experimentation, and occasional breakthroughs, a new path forward began to emerge. It was unconventional, requiring a level of adaptation and risk-taking that neither the Vrillians nor the humans were entirely comfortable with. But the stakes were too high to turn back. As the breakthrough finally came, the research team erupted in cheers and celebratory embraces, the lines between human and Vrillian blurring in the moment of triumph. Zelia, her mandibles clicking with a mixture of relief and pride, clasped Ramirez's hand, her eyes conveying a depth of gratitude that no words could fully express. We could not have done this without you, the Vrillian commander said, her voice soft but sincere. This victory belongs to all of us. Ramirez smiled, her own eyes shining with a newfound respect for her alien counterparts. Then let us savor it together, Commander. For the journey ahead, we are truly united. With the breakthrough achieved, the combined human and Vrillian teams dove headfirst into the monumental task of restoring the crippled alien fleet. The pace of work was frenetic, with both sides pushing themselves to the limit to ensure the success of their unprecedented collaboration. Commander Exilia and President Harker oversaw the operation, their once wary partnership now forged into a bond of mutual trust and respect. They knew that the fate of their civilizations hung in the balance, and neither was willing to let the other down. Our people have worked tirelessly to reach this point, Exilia said, her gaze sweeping across the bustling research facility. I am impressed by their dedication and resilience. Harker nodded, a small smile playing on her lips. As am I, Commander. This alliance has proven to be more than just a necessity. It has become a source of hope and inspiration for both our peoples. The work progressed in fits and starts, with each new challenge met with a surge of collective determination. The humans marveled at the elegant complexity of the Vrillian systems, while the Vrillians were amazed by the human capacity for innovative problem-solving. Your people truly are remarkable, Zarek murmured one day as he watched a team of human engineers devise a novel approach to a critical systems integration issue. I confess, I had underestimated the depth of your capabilities. Dr. Ramirez, who stood beside the Vrillian officer, chuckled. Perhaps we've all had a few surprises along the way. But that's what makes this collaboration so rewarding. The opportunity to learn from one another, to push the boundaries of what we thought possible. As the repairs neared completion, a palpable sense of excitement and anticipation began to permeate the research facility. The Vrillians, who had once been resigned to a bleak and uncertain future, now dared to hope that they might once again return to their homeworld, their fleet restored and their people safe. Exilia, in particular, found herself caught up in the collective optimism, her mandibles clicking with a mixture of relief and pride. She had witnessed firsthand the transformation of her people's relationship with the humans, from wary suspicion to a genuine partnership built on mutual understanding and respect. We could not have accomplished this without you, the Vrillian commander said to Harker, as the two leaders surveyed the bustling activity around them. Your people have proven themselves to be worthy allies, and I am honored to call you friends. Harker reached out and placed a hand on Exilia's arm, her expression warm and sincere. The honor is ours, Commander. This alliance has changed us all, in ways we're only beginning to comprehend. Whatever the future holds, we will face it together. As the final systems were brought back online and the Vrillian vessels prepared for launch, a sense of triumph and bittersweet melancholy hung in the air. The humans and Vrillians had forged a bond that transcended the boundaries of their respective civilizations, and the thought of parting ways, even temporarily, was a difficult one to bear. But Exilia, her gaze fixed on the horizon, knew that this was not the end, but rather the beginning of a new era of cooperation and understanding between their peoples. We will return, she said, her voice carrying a quiet certainty. And when we do, it will be as partners, not merely allies. This is but the first step in a journey that will change the course of our histories forever. The day of the Vrillian fleet's departure had arrived, and a sense of both triumph and melancholy hung in the air. After months of arduous work and collaboration, the once crippled vessels now stood proudly, their systems fully repaired and operational. Commander Exilia and President Harker stood side by side, watching as the final preparations were made. The bond they had forged over the course of their partnership had grown into a deep respect, and in many ways, a genuine friendship. This is a momentous occasion, Exilia said, her mandibles clicking softly. Our people owe you and your citizens a debt of gratitude that can never be fully repaid. Harker smiled, placing a hand on the Vrillian commander's arm. You need not thank us, Exilia. This alliance has been a gift to both our civilizations. It has opened our eyes to new possibilities, new ways of thinking and living. Exilia nodded, her gaze sweeping across the bustling research facility, where human and Vrillian technicians worked together with a seamless efficiency. Indeed, The knowledge and insights we have gained from this collaboration are invaluable. Our people will be forever changed by this experience. As the final countdown began, the Vrillian delegation gathered to bid farewell to their human counterparts. Zurak, Zilia's second-in-command, approached Dr. Ramirez, his mandibles clicking in a gesture of deep respect. "You have proven yourselves to be far more than mere primitives," he said, his voice tinged with a hint of awe. "Your ingenuity, your resilience, and your capacity for compassion have left an indelible mark on my people. We are humbled, and forever in your debt." Ramirez felt a lump rise in her throat as she listened to Zurak's words. "The debt is ours, Zurak. Your people have opened our eyes to the vast wonders of the universe. We are honored to have been a part of this incredible journey." As the Vrillian vessels prepared to depart, Celia and Harker exchanged a final, meaningful look. In that moment, no words were necessary. Their shared understanding and the profound connection they had forged spoke volumes. "We will return," Zelia said, her voice soft but resolute. "And when we do, we hope to find you, not just as allies, but as true partners in the endless frontier that lies before us." Harker nodded, her eyes shining with a mixture of pride and sorrow. "We will be waiting, Zelia. May your journey be swift and your homecoming joyous. And know that you will always have a home among us." With a final salute, the Vrillian fleet took to the skies, its sleek vessels disappearing into the vast expanse of space. The humans watched, their hearts heavy with the weight of the moment, but also with a sense of profound hope and optimism. In the days and weeks that followed, the impact of the human-Vrillian collaboration began to ripple through both civilizations. The technological advancements and scientific breakthroughs unlocked by their partnership fueled unprecedented progress, ushering in a new era of discovery and innovation. But more than that, the profound personal connections forged between the two peoples left an indelible mark on the collective psyche. The once unimaginable had been made real. The possibility of coexistence, of mutual understanding and respect, between two vastly different cultures. As the world celebrated the success of the historic alliance, the humans and Vrillians alike knew that this was only the beginning. The future held untold wonders, and they were determined to face it together, as equals and as friends. In the years that followed the departure of the Vrillian fleet, the historic alliance between the two civilizations became a celebrated chapter in the annals of human history. The profound impact of their collaboration reverberated through both societies, shaping the course of their futures in ways that no one could have predicted. For the humans, the technological advancements unlocked through their partnership with the Vrillians proved to be a transformative boon. The integration of alien systems and the exchange of scientific knowledge fueled breakthroughs in fields ranging from energy production to interstellar travel, catapulting humanity into a new era of progress and exploration. "The Human-Vrillian Alliance was a game-changer for us," said Dr. Liam Donovan, the young engineer whose innovative approach had played a pivotal role in restoring the Vrillian fleet. "It opened our eyes to the vast potential of the universe and the incredible diversity of intelligent life that exists beyond our own world." Donovan's words echoed the sentiments of countless others as the human populace embraced the newfound sense of possibility and wonder. The once cautious partnership had blossomed into a deep and abiding friendship, with regular diplomatic and scientific exchanges between the two civilizations. "We are no longer just allies," President Harker declared during a historic address to the United Nations. "We are partners, united in our pursuit of knowledge, understanding, and the betterment of all sentient beings. This alliance is the foundation upon which we will build a brighter future for our peoples and for generations to come." For the Vrillians, the impact of the collaboration was equally profound. The ingenuity and resourcefulness of the human species had challenged long-held assumptions about their own technological and cultural superiority, inspiring a newfound humility and openness within Vrillian society. "We once believed that our way was the only way," Xylia, now a revered figure in Vrillian history, admitted during a rare interview. But the humans have shown us that there is wisdom and value in embracing different perspectives, in adapting and evolving to meet the challenges of the future. Under Xilia's leadership, the Vrillian civilization underwent a transformative period of introspection and reform. New educational initiatives were implemented to foster creativity and cross-cultural exchange, while technological advancements spearheaded by the Human-Vrillian partnership helped to address long-standing issues of resource scarcity and environmental degradation. The humans have given us a gift beyond measure. Zarak, now Xilia's successor as the Vrillian Empire's leader, said during a state visit to Earth, "They have shown us that there is more to life than mere efficiency and conquest. They have reminded us of the true meaning of community, of compassion, and of the boundless potential that lies within every sentient being." As the decades passed, the alliance between the humans and Vrillians only grew stronger, with the two civilizations working in tandem to explore the vast expanse of the galaxy, making groundbreaking discoveries, and forging new connections with other intelligent species. "The Human-Vrillian alliance has forever changed the course of our histories," said Dr. Ramirez, now a revered figure in her own right, during a celebratory gala marking the 50th anniversary of the partnership. "It has shown us that by embracing our differences and working together, we can achieve the impossible. And in doing so, we have created a legacy that will endure long after we are gone." As the festivities drew to a close, Xilia and Harker, now elder statesmen of their respective worlds, shared one final, knowing glance. In that moment, they understood that their collaboration had transcended the boundaries of their individual civilizations, forging a bond that would continue to shape the future of all sentient life in the cosmos. "To infinity and beyond," Harker murmured, raising her glass in a toast. Xilia's mandibles clicked in a gesture of agreement. "Indeed, my friend, the journey has only just begun."